8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to our Thursday broadcast.
Relax with the time travel stuff. Hey, everyone. Welcome to IFB Interfleet Broadcasting, a news, pop culture, sci-fi entertainment channel brought to you by two wiser guys who grew up watching the 70s and 80s TV movies, cartoons, and the like. I'm New York Pete. This is my best friend, Chris the Tipsy Toaster. Welcome to our show, everybody.
Yo, howdy.
Yeah. And I hope you guys were paying attention. Many of you have. We were at a mini convention yesterday, the bulk of the day, thanks to the invite from our very own Commander Chris Fian of the Empire City Garrison, the 501st Star Wars Legion. He hosted us, and we had a great time. A lot of money was raised for the charity that was involved, the Cerebral Palsy of Nassau County Association. They raised, I think it was a little over $6,000 in the mere 4 hours that this mini-con was on. We met some celebrities, which we have reached out. We're reaching out to. We spoke to them during the show. They said they were interested in coming. So we have someone very, very well known from 80s movies. And you guys are going to love it. I'll say this much. Think Last Starfighter. So someone from Last Starfighter is looking to...
I think that just gave it away there because...
Well, no, there's...
It was only one person that think that from Last Starfighter.
Right, well, so if you guys are... if you looked into who is at the Minicon, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. So we won't commit by saying names, but that's who said they were interested in coming on to IFB. But tonight we have another great guest, sci-fi author that does a whole bunch of his own community volunteering. So we want to talk about that as well, and his background is fascinating. And then we have John One. So John One was with us at the convention as well. I also went to a convention today, so I have a mini report on that. And I'll let you guys know. Unfortunately, didn't really find a lot, but there is a possibility for some inroads into sponsorship, which is great. So we'll see how that plays. In the meantime, happy to have all of you on here. Also want to thank everyone that's been watching some of our very recent shows. We were hitting the thousands on those viewers. Very, very cool. I'm gonna try to see who's on live with us now. And George. Lola's here. George Yakumas in the house. Olga Segundina Estrada Quinones is with us as well. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you watching us live. Some of you are watching, I believe, on YouTube and some of our other social media platforms. Thank you for joining us. And everybody who watches us later. Some of our recent shows have hit like almost 17,000 views. Thank you very much, everyone, for supporting IFB Interfleet Broadcasting, and welcome. Right, so we're gonna have a great sci-fi author that hasn't been here before, and then we're gonna have our Star Trek update from one of the admirals of the International Star Trek Association, Bran, who does our updates. He's going to come and we're going to talk some Star Trek with him. That's always fun. And he's going to give us updates on how things are going in the association and their fundraisers. And of course, John One. So Mike DeBruin is with us. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you watching. Good to have you. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the updates for our own projects. right? We have the Stranded Warrior fan film that we're working hard on. As a matter of fact, we have Chris Marshall and Chuck Davenport that have volunteered on top of all the other things they've been doing on the project. We're putting together a new movie poster, and it's going to be entered into no less than 4, possibly 5 international film festivals for competition. Our trailer is out there, and of course, you guys know that we already won our first set of laurels for one of the film festivals that we put the trailer into, and in about 10 days we'll know the second one, and then there's a few others that are in the fall that we will that we've submitted. However, guys, go to the Stranded Warrior on Facebook and check it out, because we need you to also follow the link to Instagram, because we are now being featured not only on 1 but 3 international film festivals with our trailer. 1, we've won an award, of course, we've been selected, and we've got our laurels. The other 2 film festivals, one happens to be in Spain. They are actually broadcasting and promoting our trailer. So that's aside from the competition. They've notified us officially, requested permission to put up the trailer for the Stranded Warriors. So now it's playing on their channel on YouTube, which is based out of Europe, out of Spain. So a whole other audience is now watching our beloved fan film. And hopefully when we are done, which we're getting very close to, setting up a rough cut, and then we'll do a picture lock, do the CG, and all the other work goes, including the composition of the
the cool stuff.
Soundtrack with Dorian Keyes, a sci-fi award-winning author who is also musically inclined. So he'll be finishing up the composing of original music for that, and then it goes straight to the festivals, and then we will keep you updated, guys. So just wanted to let you know what is going on. And if you stay tuned to our Facebook page for the Stranded Warrior, you'll know everything goes on there. And then, of course, our other project is the Tower Protocol Resurrection. It is an original IP that I started 20 years ago, and with the help of the Tipsy Toaster, we actually have edited all the scenes, and we're getting close to working that out. Tipsy's been going to some master classes on special effects and After Effects, and so we're moving along, guys. We're moving along as a team, and thank you for being patient with us. Permission to join the formation has been granted. Chief De Bruin, John Van Gostein's watching with us as well. Thank you for joining us live, guys. Appreciate it. And Tipsy, it's a busy night. We usually are on Thursdays. Everybody knows that follows us. This is season 4. I've been tabulating all of our guests, and it just boggles the mind. We've interviewed well over 150 various guests, a lot of authors and behind the scenes celebrities and like, and it's really, really a lot of fun and cool. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to everyone that's actually participated directly in IFB, and we have a great guest tonight. So that's.
Do we want to bring
awesome.
everybody on for the toast?
Yeah, well, you know what? Everybody should know that here on IFB we do a toast, and we want to recognize the fans, because this is all about the fans. If it's not for the fans, I mean, what do you have? I mean, you have product, you have some shows and TV and movies that go out there, and if we're not watching and supporting and creating this movement, we wouldn't have anything. And so here we are. Henry Sipes, thank you. Henry, you're our guest tonight. Thank you for joining us for the toast. John 1 is with us. John, are you ready to toast?
Yes, I am.
All right, good. Cool. So, Chris, are you prepared? What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, well, I've got something very special. I just got back from New York, so I figured I better appropriate the Brooklyn Lager from the Brooklyn Brewery.
Oh boy! All right, which you purchased at your own expense.
Yes, I purchased at my own expense, but
yes.
it probably tastes like. Never mind, I won't go there.
Oh well, Okay, I'm glad you didn't.
What do you got? Oh, you had something different tonight, Pete.
Yes.
Oh, what the hell?
Lindemann's
It's not a beet. It's not a
lambic. It's lambic beer.
There we go.
There it is. Lambic beer.
Peche.
Belgium. Right. So, you guys know that the wife and I, we went to Brussels for a small vacation earlier this year, and we tried a lot of their great beers and stuff, and so we found one of these local. John, what do you got? You got anything good?
I have from Radiant Pig craft beers. I have Save the Robots.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Save the robots.
Don't shake that too much, bro.
Is that, it doesn't have a screw top, does it?
No. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes,
Well,
Janet, I am opening
7%.
How much?
7%.
Okay.
7.
So-
Is that all? Yeah.
Okay.
For me,
That's
it's
not
gonna be
bad. All right.
Actually, it's a. I've had that one before. It's pretty good.
Okay. And I want to hear what our guest, Henry, what do you have? What are you drinking?
Well, I'm breaking my doctor's orders. I've got a little Bailey's here.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice.
Bailey's, which I absolutely love, is one of my favorite drinks. But she has me watching my sugar level of all things. Yeah.
Oh boy!
But just
All right.
for you guys tonight, for everyone watching, some Bailey's.
There you go.
Yes. All right. Cool.
All right, ready
so
to open up?
let us. Yeah. Ready?
You
All
know,
right, do it. Yep.
dose,
Yeah.
and Grace.
Hey, yeah. Okay.
Cheers.
James McCoy's with us.
Good
Oh
Lord.
boy.
This thing's strong. Oh, there we go. Got it open finally.
Did you?
The Brooklyn lager.
Well, guess what? You're not going to believe what I have to do.
I should have brought some beer.
Pete, this really looks like the color is well represented of the New York area.
Well, you see, look, I have this is corked. Just so you know,
Yeah, well,
this is no joke.
you have to drink that with your pinky up, you know.
It's Belgian. All right. I'm
just drink that with
pouring.
your
I'm
pinky
pouring. Janet, thank you.
Mine is kind of
for
hazy.
Allowing. This
Well, it's
to happen.
at least mine represents the color of New York. Yes, it's very the same
Cheers.
color of New York. So anyways, thank you all for joining us. We always do appreciate everybody that creates the fandoms and creates those great things behind the fandom, as well as the actors in front of the camera. It's all of the people that put everything together that makes the fandoms. So it's always about the fans, and we always cheers, and we always say, fans feel the fleet. So here's to you.
Here's to the fans.
Fans
Thank you,
feel free.
guys.
Cheers.
It's you guys.
Wow. Ooh, this
Yep.
is good.
Tastes just like New York.
Henry, you would be banned from drinking this. This is
Yeah, a lot of sugar, huh? Peaches and all that.
oh yeah, this is incredible. Excellent. Ileana Hernandez, thank you for joining us. And cheers to you, James McCoy. Thank you. Noel Trimmer, thank you for joining us live. Appreciate you guys jumping on with us. And like I said before, to the thousands, hopefully, that watch this episode, thanks for watching us in rerun or syndication. We appreciate it. Lambic is a real beer. Thank you, Belgian monks. That's right. Thanks, Janet. This is good stuff.
Is that the one? I love the Chimay.
Okay.
The Chimay is the they actually the money goes to help out all sorts of things for the Belgian monks work on. So
Yeah, I know. Well, the other one that we tried when we were in Brussels was the Creek, the cherry one.
Mhm.
Incredible, great stuff, good stuff.
Yummy.
But all right, so look back to IFB. This is part of our tradition. Henry, thank you for joining us.
we'll
and
be right back with
participating.
you guys.
And that was very, very cool. So, I mean, right, we went to the mini-con out in Long Island, Chris, and there was a lot of footage. There was a lot of content that we were able to get.
We did a couple live shots. Ooh, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, we did a bunch
Brooklyn's
of
coming
live
back
stuff.
on me.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, Brooklyn.
Yeah, drink more. See what happens when you talk bad about New York?
Well, I mean, it's probably going to make me start talking like a New Yorker here pretty soon. Oh no, it did it. Did you hear that?
That's Boston. Careful, you're going
I'm
too
going
far with that. You're going into Boston.
Too far. They're going to park the
Tex-
cars. That's too far, Boston. They got to
Mike
go
the
farther
Bruce
north.
says Texas has them doing shots of barbecue sauce.
Well, I'll try that one next. Oh, nice spicy ones.
Oh boy.
We had some.
So we had a
decent
great,
barbecue there,
tremendous
too.
time. The Empire City Garrison of the 501 Legion was basically there. The Rebel Legion was there, and the Jedi Saber
Guild.
Saber Guild was there.
What was the number for the Ghostbusters one? I don't remember
Ghostbusters, yeah, they were there.
They raised quite a bit of money as well for they auctioned off a proton pack.
Yeah,
which I should have
really
won,
cool.
but hey,
You should have, but you
once
you
again
didn't
it was
want to bring
rigged
it home.
because it was a
didn't want
Cylon.
it.
So
Brooklyn Lager is kryptonite for Cylons. You know, Mike, I think that's true. But yeah,
rust these joints quick.
yeah. Oh, we saw the TARDIS. This one guy, Steven, he built a TARDIS that is part of the Long Island Who convention,
and it's portable, and it was pretty amazing how it folds all down and actually has wheelchair access.
Yes, wheelchair access. And the Long Island Who convention for the Whovians, it is well known. And they bring some major power players in the Doctor Who universe to that convention. Been around for many, many years. If you're not plugged in, you wouldn't even know. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe we get a chance to do that one in the near future. And yeah, it was great, Lola. We had a good time. Oh, you know what? Look,
it was good.
I want to show.
It was great to see that it was. You got the poster.
Yeah.
Oh.
There it is.
I could show off my thing, but now that you ruined it, that would give something away.
Oh, that was cool. We had a good time, and you ended up. Yeah, you got some stuff at the auction that they had, the charity auction, and we were set up. We had a really good time. Thanks for inviting. Today was another convention in Edison, New Jersey. It was a collectors convention, and I attended, and it was it was actually advertised as predominantly a collectors convention, and it was interesting. Collecticon, New Jersey, and I went, and it was well established for those that are into the Pokemon and collecting anything that's related to the Pokemon and the card games and stuff like that. So the Collecticon is really basically all geared towards that. So if that's something that you guys are into, I highly recommend. It was really big. There was several hundred dealers, all dealing basically in that the Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh thing. So if that's something that any of you are interested in.
And you said that the guy who sung the song was there.
Oh yeah, like the theme, the guy that sings the English language theme, it was there, and everybody just went bananas in there, and there were thousands and thousands of people attending. It was great. So if that's your thing, if you're into sci-fi, fantasy, horror, or any of the the genres that we're a little bit more tuned into, there was basically zero there for you. So that's not for pretty much our
Age
target
category.
audience. Yeah. So but did it. I'm glad I went. It wasn't too far. It was about an hour. David Francoeur, thank you, buddy, for joining us. Appreciate you. You've been putting up some really cool sci-fi digital photograph. You have like a mastery of manipulating scenes from various great sci-fi that we love, and being able to you have a vast collection of cosplay uniforms, costumes. You put them on, and then you blend yourself in, and you have other people that you're in touch with that also will get into the thing that you do, and you put up these great pictures, whether it be Space 1999 or Galactica, or I mean, you name it, some really cool stuff. That's on over on Dave's social media. So if you guys are into it, and Dave helped us out with the Stranded Warrior, helped us out with one of the prop pictures that we use. So Dave, thank you for helping out, man. Appreciate it. And so I guess if being that John's with us, he's got an update for us.
There he is, right there.
There you go.
Audio
So John,
Hey, buddy.
There we go.
so
How are
John,
you?
what was your takeaway at the mini-con? I mean, you were there with us the whole day. We had a good time.
Yeah, I thought that was a good time. It was really good. I met some really cool people, and we see the 501st a lot, but we got to see him and do that charity thing, and that was really cool. They did a good job, and I think everyone got teary-eyed, but it was fun. Everyone came and talked to us. We talked to people, and it was a good charity. And I'm surprised they raised so much money in like under 4 hours. Like, holy cow!
Oh
So,
yeah, not to
They
mention.
got my money.
Yeah. We supported. We supported. We also got to see Chris Fian's DeLorean,
Yep.
Yes,
which is cool.
you even got the
He's
Nike
talked
sneakers
about
in the
it.
back there too.
Yeah, it was awesome, right? So he's talked about it a lot. Chris Marshall, howdy and welcome to our Sunday special broadcast. Obviously, you guys all know that we are normally on Thursday, right, John? And Tipsy
Yes.
Toaster was taking like a master class on After Effects, I believe it was, in New York City, and did not have the bandwidth to actually
The
do
hotel
the
didn't
show.
do it.
Yep. So here we are on
It
Sunday.
was great during the week. They had no problem. Fired it up closer to the end of the day, and I was like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, they wouldn't have
It
worked.
was easier to
that's okay.
postpone it till today. We really appreciate everybody's patience and checking us out on a Sunday.
wait till you see-
Sunday.
Chris Marshall's new movie poster for The Stranded Warrior. Wait till you guys see it. It's phenomenal. So that's in the
Yes.
works. Hopefully, we'll have that out soon, very soon, and we will be
Very
entering
good.
that into competition. Yeah, John one got a preview screening of how it looks. So yeah, all good stuff. And so John, again,
Yes.
we had a good time at the mini-con. It was really cool.
It was fun. I had a good time. We met a lot of people. We talked to them. We did a lot of shows, and we got nice. Saw the auction, so we had fun at the auction too. A couple of laughs. It was fun. It was good time.
Yeah,
So-
it was good. It was
got
And
some
you
definitely
can
cool
see
stuff.
all that live on our actually now pre-recorded on our Facebook page.
Yep, we
On
put
the
up
Facebook
all of our interviews and everything that went on, including the auction too. So we put up,
Yes.
we covered the auction, so that went up. So John, you got a bit of an update for us in terms of
Yes.
some stuff that's going on.
We got some
Yeah.
good news coming up, some movies and stuff. So
Well, let's
Here we
hit
go.
it. Wait a minute. Wait. We gotta get it right. We gotta have the right thing going on here. So ready?
Oh, intro.
Yep.
John's on the beats, reporting all the sci-fi news with his typewriter clacking, bringing news. He's got the scoop on galaxies far and wide, covering the stars, taking us on a cosmic ride. He's a wordsmith, weaving tales of distant planets, from robots to aliens. He's got the knife for it with every keystroke. He paints a vivid scene. His words transport us to worlds we've never seen. Tune into John's rhythm, his typewriter symphony, as he narrates the wonders of science fiction for you and me. His words dance off the page, taking flight.
I can dance to this music.
In the universe of imagination, he's our guiding light.
Guiding light. Excellent. Oh, there's more? How much more is there, man?
That's the
Go.
ending.
Did it. We're back.
Cha-cha-cha.
John, get this, John. Mike De Bruin says John's the Kolchak of sci-fi news.
Oh
Wow.
yes.
There you go.
Thank you,
See?
Mike.
There you go.
Awesome.
We
Hey,
should-
Rodrigo Garcia, thank you for watching us live. Welcome to Interfleet Broadcasting. John 1, our news anchor, is going to do his report. John, what do you got?
Well, we got some good stuff coming our way. First up, in theaters July 26th, Deadpool and the best there is, bub, Wolverine. Team up in, well, Deadpool and Wolverine. Wolverine and Deadpool team up to fight a common enemy. I guess they have the different time zones, like universes, and Deadpool gets stuck in trying to fight one, and he tries to save his own universe. So he gets pulled in with Wolverine, and they fight each other, and they try to save the world. So it looks pretty good. I'm gonna go see it because I'm a Wolverine fan, and I wasn't too much of a fan of Logan because I kind of got teary-eyed and got made fun of, but that's okay. Wolverine's my favorite character. So see it in theaters next Friday. And a new Hellboy is coming to the screen. Hellboy, the Crooked Man. It was a comic book on this. It was pretty good. This looks like a more darker version of it. This is from Mike Mignola, the guy that made Hellboy. It's not going to be Lou Pearlman or the other guys. It's going to be like, it's pretty dark and fun. So that's coming out in theaters soon. There's no release date. It should be coming out by this fall. So keep an eye on it for that. And the trailer was enjoyable, so I thought it was going to be scary, but looking forward to it. And it's all aboard for the fourth. And it's all aboard for the fourth and final season of Snowpiercer, about survivors in a frozen future living on a train. I guess people like it. People enjoy it. I try to get through to it, but I just can't try to go through the season because I don't know why that train gets stuck in the snow or so much snowstorm. There's no plow on it, so it's turned off.
Yeah, it was.
Whoever sees it, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
The bugs kind of turn me off too, but it's anyway, I can see that. See it on AMC July 21st. I just couldn't get past how the train moves in the snow, but whatever. Jennifer Connelly's in it, so it makes it up for it. I think Sean Bean's in it too, so both good actors. Apple Plus keeps releasing some good stuff. Even it is a remake, Time Bandits, about a boy who falls in with a bunch of futuristic time people who go out through time and steal stuff. Lisa Kudrow is the leader, and it looks pretty funny. Taika Waititi directs it. He does all the funny movies, like Our Flag Means Death, and he was a voice in Thor, so he makes some pretty funny stuff. So that's coming out on July 21st on Apple Plus. The final season of Umbrella Academy will start on Netflix August 8th. Looks like it will be a good ending. A lot of stuff's going to get cleaned up. And we're going to see some loose ends tied up, hopefully. So we'll see. Umbrella Academy is pretty good. I just started watching myself, so it's getting there. It's picking up. So I enjoyed that. And let's see. Oh, my God. And if anyone's going to San Diego Comic-Con, now's your chance to see Boomer. Herbert Jefferson Jr. from the original Battlestar Galactica series will be there. So
Look at
I
that.
wish you could go. One day we'll
Busy.
go to San Diego.
Busy news desk behind him.
We'll be there. I'm getting all the scoop.
Getting a scoop right now.
Getting all the scoops. We'll be there. Hey, the gremlins keep coming. They keep coming. Well, we'll be there. So Crooked Dice Game Design will be releasing classic Battlestar Galactica figures in August. Hopefully it'll be going to a game because a lot of their figures go to games. So this should be an upcoming game coming with this. I've tried to contact them, see what they're going to say, but I have to wait for a response. But a lot of figures there, and hopefully I can get my own little Boltar and my own little Vulper, and they can, I can paint them and.
They're action figures, not dolls.
That's right.
They're actually like small. I don't know. Is that Iblis?
I wish.
Voltar.
If I had time, every time I
that's
said that, I'd be
Boltar.
rich.
I mean, if there's an Ibly there, I'm all over that one.
Yeah.
That and Cylons. I don't see
so.
any Cylons listed there, but they did have the robot dog from Doctor Who. So.
Yes, K9.
K9.
That's right. K9.
So
Get
they
with the
do
program,
Who
Chris.
figures too. So, but their Who figures go with a game. So hopefully, Battlestar Galactica will go with a game as well.
Oh.
So we're looking forward to that.
Oh boy.
That will be cool. And
Fugitive.
hopefully we'll have them on a show. We can talk about it.
Heroes. Oh my God, that's so
Fugitive
cool.
Fleet.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh my
Wait for that line
God.
to come out. So I've been emailing them, and I'll check out my emails tomorrow, see if they responded. But hopefully they respond to me pretty soon.
Cool.
All right. So what else? All good vibes. And talk about the good vibes. Good vibes all around for Battlestar Galactica. People, I love this series when I first saw it, and I grew up watching the show, and hopefully now it's we can get some good stuff. And the show was G-Force, Battle of the Planets. Gotcha, man. They had like a million
Yeah,
names, but
yeah.
now Tatsudanika Rama Toy will be marketing
boy.
the toys, so the figures are going to be coming out. So I can have my own my own Galactor report to me. Galactor was the bad guy, and there was what was the name of the company? It was Hydra or Spectre,
Yeah,
and the bad guy's
and they
really
had
cool. So I
a
that cartoon.
bleep. What was the name of the robot that they ended up putting in, which I hated?
Oh,
Ah, I
yeah, he
hated
was
the
on the
robot,
underwater
man.
base. He was like, "Ah."
Yeah. No,
And then they had the
G-Force,
one
man.
G-Force, and that the young
G-Force.
one was always like making noises,
Yeah.
beep 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 beep.
Yeah, G-Force is good, man.
Yes.
That's cool stuff. Hey, by the way, Baz is he's sending us good day from Canberra, Australia. Welcome to the fleet. Hey, Baz, thanks for joining us. I'm waiting for my
Yes.
coin. I think you're down to 14 or less coins um,
Oh,
that were specially minted and made for his fundraiser. He had 100. I went in there and I grabbed number 33. So as soon as I get it, it goes up
no.
on Interfleet Broadcasting. Rob Baum's with us. Thanks for joining, Rob and Baz. Let's see if I don't want to miss anybody. Try to catch you guys as you come on. Thanks for watching us live. So, John, so you really think that there might be a game involved with that fugitive fleet thing, man? Those figures look
I
cool.
hope so because I'm looking at the website, and a lot of their figures go to games. So hopefully something's going
Yeah.
to come out with that. So I
Oh,
get an answer. So I emailed them that, and hopefully I get an answer soon.
no, I hope so, man. Yeah, Bez,
That would
my
be cool.
coin has made it to the States. I'll probably have it in hopefully in a couple of days. But as soon as I get it, like everybody else, I'll be putting it up on IFB. Just keep doing what you do, buddy. You know, if you're not following Baz, you know he's created a 1-to-1 scale Mark II Viper, and it's really
Beautiful.
cool. And now getting the trailer together, John, so that he can take it around finally and show it off. It's
Oh,
so cool.
he did a great job on that fight. It's really
Yeah,
work
man.
of art.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. No kidding. Lots of US cons are already in the hands. Yes, the coins are going out. I mean, I watch, so you'll see mine. 7 was the headquarters robot. That's the robot I hated
Seven
in
Zark seven, yeah.
G-Force. Yeah. That thing was so annoying, man. So anyway. But let's look forward to it. Let's hopefully it'll be
Seven
good.
Zark 7.
But yeah, 7. Oh boy.
Boy.
They had previously released the DVD series, the whole set, and I actually have them. I only got through half of it, but I don't know. So
Oh,
hopefully, some of the new stuff will be out, and they've done graphic novels and things. But so in the green room, John, you were able to get us another great guest.
yes.
It's a sci-fi author. Has an interesting background in astronomy and volunteering and the
Oh,
likes. Henry Sipes, and he's got a series of books, the Babylonian
yes.
Chronicles, and
Babylonian
uh,
Chronicles.
yeah, man,
Babylonian Lines. A couple other
yeah,
ones.
yeah,
Genser.
Genship trilogy. There's a whole bunch of stuff here, man. He's here with us, and we're gonna talk. We're talk some pretty intense sci-fi because it's a melding of a lot of different aspects of life are brought together in his vision. I looked over some of the material. So
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna have a good time. So stay tuned, John. So when
Yep.
we're done we're gonna come back. We'll talk a little bit more, and then Bran will come on too. But stick around with us.
Okay.
Cool.
Welcome into
All
Sipes.
right. So,
Have it
Tipsy
here.
Toaster, when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. So
Are,
let's.
are you ready? That's the question.
I am ready. I'm more than ready. I'm wearing our T-shirt, the Interfleet Broadcasting T-shirt. So hopefully we'll get that out. I'll start, putting that up and seeing, getting some of our merch out eventually. But here we are. Henry Sipes, thank you for joining us on Interfleet Broadcasting on a Sunday, which is totally out of character. But thank you.
Hey, no problem. I'm very glad to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, by your biography standing, your background standing, you're big into astronomy. You went and you got a graduate degree in, I believe it's astronomy or
Yes,
astrophysics.
I
It's
got no
astronomy.
master's degree in astronomy.
Wow. And that was kind of more or less the way I read your bio. You've done a lot of volunteer work in your community related to astronomy. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been ate up with science fiction since I was a kid. It's interesting you guys are working on the Stranded Warrior project because I used to, I could not wait for the next episode of Battlestar Galactica to play on TV. Yeah, and I still remember the one show where I got almost cross-eyed after the show because I tried to move an object across my bedroom. I don't know if you remember Commander, Commander Adama actually moves that object across the table. So I go upstairs. I'm like, could you even do this? And yeah. So I've been ate up. I grew up on a farm in Kentucky. Lots of hard work, but I was lucky. Unlike a few people today that live in the big cities, at that time I could literally hold my hand out as far as I can, and I could not see it. It was that dark on our farm. And so
Wow.
when you looked up in the sky, I mean, the heaven is full of stars. And so, with your sci-fi and then your science shows, Carl Sagan was probably the biggest motivator for me as a kid. Um, to go on and get an engineering degree and fuel my interest in astronomy. And so things didn't quite work out. I didn't get to go to outer space. I'm still here on the Earth, sadly, but I have hopes. Things are going in the right direction finally. Um, with SpaceX and reusable rockets, I see a lot of people listening to the show. Your chance is coming to go into outer space. I truly believe it. Finally, some of what we've grown up, watching as sci-fi may actually become true before we kick the bucket. And so, I never actually worked in the aerospace industry. That was my goal. My goal was to become an astronaut. By golly, and I sat right there in the lazy boy chair in my family's farm and watched the space shuttle blow up on TV. And I can tell you that was a hard moment for me, senior in high school, to watch that happen. And that moment, and then the next shuttle blowing up, really put our space industry way behind. And I never made it into that industry, but I did get my engineering degree from Purdue, and I've always held on to my love for astronomy and science fiction. A lot of the science, you were asking me earlier of what got me interested as well. The school I went to when I was in elementary school was a little bit of a mix between a Catholic school and a public school. Don't tell anybody. Separation, separation of church and state, supposedly, but if it weren't for the Catholic Church in our community, there would not have been a school. That's where the funds came from. Sister Carolita pulled off C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe
Whoa.
and said, I think, Henry, you will really love this trilogy, this series of books. And she was dead on. I don't know if she realized what she did because after that, I could not resist anything that was fantasy or science fiction. From Tolkien to I've written some of them down here. Terry Brooks, Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov, on the David Brin, David Levins, the Ring series. I don't know if any of you have read those. And So yeah, I've been ate up, and I've still continued, with the astronomy over the years to show people the beauty of the heavens. Um, Even in the local cities in Kentucky now, there are places you can no longer see the Milky Way,
Wow.
and so we would volunteer. I was with the Louisville Astronomical Society back in the day, and we would go out into the middle of God's country, is find the darkest place we could, and invite people out from the city. And we would all set up our telescopes and just show people objects in the nighttime sky. And so I did that for years, and then along came an opportunity to actually volunteer in an observatory that was being operated by the local community college system. And so, yeah, I really have been ate up with science and science fiction since I was a kid. I volunteered in the observatory for 10 years.
Wow.
And also I served as a NASA solar system ambassador. And in that role, you highlight all the NASA missions, and a lot of those that I would concentrate on would be the missions from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, because they were the ones sending out the probes, to all the different planets and moons and asteroids, and those were the things I thought would excite people. And so, on a cloudy night when you can't show people the stars, then you talk about the NASA programs. So that's a little bit of my
Well,
background.
that's a heck of a thing. I got to tell you that our good friend from down under, Baz says, I used to work at the Canberra Deep Space Communications Complex as part of the global DSN. He said he loved it. Have my own observatory and astrograph. Mind blowing stuff out there. Thanks, Baz, for sending that up. Chris Marshall, where in Kentucky I claim Elizabethtown as the place
Oh
I
my
grew up.
gosh, you got to be kidding me. I was born in the hospital when it used to be called Hardin Memorial Hospital. I was born in Elizabethtown. Great.
So there you go. Jason, Fredrich, and let's see, we have somebody else that popped on. Hetty Moore Farley, thank you for joining us live. You're here with science fiction author Henry Sipes, who has a astronomy science background and a fan of the genre. So it's really cool when you find a way to kind of blend that stuff together. I was an ambassador for Space Camp. I went to the family program and went with my son, and I was so impressed with it that I ended up doing outreach for Space Camp. Loved it, and so I also at one time had aspirations to maybe follow in that world, but science and I don't, math and I don't click so well. So I pursued other venues and got my graduate degree in international relations. But nonetheless, I love all that stuff and a big supporter. So Henry, I wanted to one thing you were recognized before we actually take a deep dive into your writing. You were recognized for all of your volunteerism. So it's always taught. It's heard of. I've never met anyone that's actually gotten this award and this recognition that you got. It's really, really cool. And you actually you received the Commission of Kentucky Colonel for your volunteering. So that's kind of cool. What was that like?
Well, I don't want to get choked up on your live broadcast, but it was a very heartfelt gift, for all the time. One thing about volunteering in an observatory, you go over and you open this place up every weekend, and a lot of times you're the only person there. And I always laugh because it'll be a beautiful starry night and no one will show up, or the next weekend it will be cloudy and raining, and you'll have 50 people
Oh
in this
no.
50, about 15-foot observatory, and you can't open the roof, and so it is a lot of hard work. But the greatest thing, is when that young person or that that adult who has never really seen Saturn live, as in looking through the telescope with their own eyes and see the rings of Saturn or see the gas bands around Jupiter. There's just something about seeing it with it. You know, you have the beautiful pictures from Voyager. Gosh, we've all seen those for decades. But when you, on a crisp, cool night, and you look through a telescope, I've had people tell me that, and they'll look up around the telescope and like, "You're holding a picture up there, aren't you?" I'm like, "No, that's it." You know,
Wow.
and you'll hear a kid or even an adult. Their mouth will drop open and they're like, "Wow," and that makes it all worthwhile. And I didn't need a colonel, a commission to be a colonel, for that. The enjoyment is when you get that one person who comes back again because they were blown away by what's in outer space. You know, that you showed them something they've never seen before. But it was heartfelt. I appreciated that. It was more than just a pat on the back when I got that commission. The sad part of that story was the Arter Creek Park Observatory, where I was volunteering, was closing. Most people in the world would probably never know of Arter. They may know of Fort Knox. I don't know if you've ever heard of Fort Knox, but Arter Creek borders Fort Knox, the Fort Knox Military Reservation in Kentucky, and it was a gift to the city of Louisville, as a thank you, for a lot, of the people who went to war in World War II. And a lot of those people never came back. But it was a gift from the military to the city of Louisville. But over time, it is a little remote. It's about 40 minutes from Louisville. And so eventually the mayor of Louisville at the time decided that it was just too far, probably funding, like a lot of things. And so it got sold. The Kentucky Fish and Wildlife people bought it. And so we had to close. And so that was kind of the sad part of that. But we had another opportunity, so we opened up an observatory in southern Indiana and started running our same programs there on the weekends.
So when one opportunity leaves, another usually pops up, and you guys sound like you make the best of it, and that's fantastic. Thank you, and thank you for everything that you've done in that and helping people see. And I'll tell you, I was in fourth grade, and same thing. There was similar to what you were saying. There was an enthusiast. I believe he was also not only an astronomy enthusiast, but I believe he was associated with the community college where I grew up in upstate New York. And so on a really dark night, he brought out everybody, invited everybody from the community. And I got to see some of the craters on the moon, through his, giant telescope that he had for the first time, my own eyes. And it was phenomenal. It was really, really cool. So that's fantastic. So what led you, beside the obvious, Henry, to start writing your works of sci-fi? Because ultimately that's what we wanted to, to sink our teeth into. The Babylonian Chronicles, Genship trilogy. You got a bunch of these on Amazon. So walk us through that.
Yes, when I was working on my master's degree in astronomy, one of the classes that we had to take, and it's a good reason, they want people who are getting their master's and then a lot that will go on to get their PhD in astronomy or astrophysics to understand a little bit about the spacecraft and how they operate, and what's behind launching a spacecraft. You don't want a lot of impatient astronomers sitting around complaining and whining because their telescope's not going up and they don't understand the reason. So this class was all about spacecraft design, and the project that I had that semester, I created a spacecraft that was designed for science and tourism. Because I was looking at real life happenings at the time, politics, etc. And the difficulty of people getting some of these new space stations funded. If you don't throw in some tourism, it's really hard to fund some of the science. And so at the time, I had to come up with an environmentally sound method for supplying power and propulsion for the space station. And I picked up a book of all things, and I really encourage everyone to read this book. It's not fiction; it's real. It was written by Richard Martin. It's called Super Fuel: Thorium, the Green Energy Source for the Future. And so I'm reading this book, and I I just got mad. I really did. I was just infuriated because here was a safe source for nuclear energy, and we set it aside. Our country literally set it aside. And I don't want to get into politics. That always gets people upset. Me too. But thorium was a very safe source that we could have jumped on for nuclear energy. But at the time, we were concerned more about building bombs. And you can't use thorium to build a bomb, but you can use uranium. And so I thought, well, okay, yeah, let's put the politics behind us. Let's look to the future. Can we wake some people up and go back to looking at thorium? Okay, we've got our bombs now, but can we go back and look at thorium as a safe energy source? Of course, I wanted to use it on my spacecraft. And so I wrote a letter to, I won't mention any names, but a senator of Kentucky at the time. And my dad did too. My dad read the same book, and we were both just fired up about this. We got one of those letters back that's like, well, no, we're not going to look at this. And so, I was mad. And then at the same time, I have these, ideas about my spacecraft, and I thought, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a science fiction book that I hope will, interest people enough that, of course, you want them to read it, and use thorium as a power source. And, and they'll be like, what? Thorium? What is this? And so that's kind of what got me started. But that was back in 2015. And I lost my first wife back then. She passed away. And so I had to set that whole idea for that book aside. I had to raise a teenage daughter, and so all my writing was put aside for years until, well, guess what? COVID comes along, and I love rocking chairs. I've loved rocking chairs since I was a kid. I'd come back from hunting, and I'd always sit in the rocking chair after I'd been out hunting, in the woods. And I love rocking chairs today. Well, I'm sitting in my rocking chair during COVID, and my wife's over there. She's just, typing away, doing all that. I'm like, what are you working on? She's working on her Teachers Pay Teachers store. And so she's over there doing something.
My wife uses that store.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm just sitting here in a rocking chair, and all of a sudden I'm like, we can't go to movies. We can't go out to eat. We can't go to the stores. And I'm like, I've got all this time. I'm going to write that book. And so I did. And now move forward from 2015 to this is 2019, 2020. Politics in our country have just really changed. Volunteering in the observatories and showing people the beauties of the heavens, and all my life I've wanted to see us go into outer space. Not me, not the state of Kentucky, not the United States, us, humanity. I want to see all humanity go into outer space. And that's what struck me. I spent over 10 years of my life showing people the beauties of the heavens. I should have been teaching them to love one another. And so that's kind of what drove my first trilogy. Was a senator from Kentucky ignoring my want to use thorium, and all the politics, people just driving hatred across the world. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. They told us we would be on Mars by 2010. That's what they told. Well, when I was a kid, we're nowhere close.
Yep.
Well, we weren't at the time, but I think we're going to get there. I'm an optimist. I'm an internal optimist. I think we're going to get there before I kick the bucket. So that's what really drove this trilogy. And there are people who absolutely love this trilogy. They would have never read a science fiction book in their life. Now it's a hard trilogy to market because it's a combination of genres. There's a lot of religion in it, a lot of sci-fi, and a lot of politics. But that was my first trilogy. And what I've been working on recently is the Babylonian Chronicles. And what kind of drove this idea originally was some reading that I've been doing. A lot of us, we concentrate, and I have a lot in my life. I've read way too much fantasy, strictly fantasy and science fiction. I ran across an author, thanks to my brother, named James Rollins. I don't know if any of you are familiar with some of James Rollins's work. But he writes kind of this archaeological black ops. I call it black ops archaeological sci-fi because he uses real science, leading edge science and discoveries in his books. And I thought, oh man, I love going back and looking at things, from the past. And I've been fascinated by Babylon and the Akkadian civilization and the things that we're now discovering. Sadly, and even some mathematicians today will tell you in class, the Pythagorean theorem. Well, that was Pythagoras from Greece that determined that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. No, that's not true. A squared plus b squared equals c squared has been around since the time of the Babylonian Empire, and it's written right in stone in the Sumerian cuneiform, and it's just fascinating. And so I'm like, I wanted to use a little bit of some things that I was picking up on the Babylonian civilization. Some science fiction. Again, my NASA solar system ambassador, even though I don't serve in that role anymore, I still follow them religiously. And they're sending this probe to the asteroid Psyche. And I'm a dreamer, and all these things are just firing in my head. I'm like, oh, what can I do? What can I write about? And there was a book festival coming up, and they wanted something to be professionally edited. And I stopped and I thought, well, does that mean you have to physically pay for the editor? What does that cost? Because my first trilogy, I had a theologian with a master's degree edit the book. I had a teacher, a high school teacher. I had a mathematician, but none of these people were professional editors. Quote professional, because they had other jobs, right? So I thought, well, for this book festival in Louisville, it's got to be professionally edited. So I thought, well, I'm going to write a short story. I think I can afford to write a short story and pay to have that edited, right? And so that's what got the Babylonian Chronicles started with the first book there. It's in the middle on the screen, the Babylonian Lines. They recently discovered a stone that has carvings on it. It's a map of the world, and of course, in Babylonian Lines, I'm kind of blowing it out into the science fiction realm because It's not just a map of the Earth; it's a map of a star system. And I'll leave it at there. I don't want to ruin the stories for you. But so that's kind of how the short story trilogy, the Babylonian Chronicles, got started. And the odd thing was, when I submitted the first short story to the Louisville Book Festival, they came back and they said, "We want your Genship trilogy as well." And I thought, well, I didn't pay for professional editors for that. I said I paid a lot of educated people, but and there's so we still want it anyway. And I thought, well, great. And so it worked. I got into the book festival, but not with my short stories. They wanted the first trilogy, and so that's yeah. I'm probably talking too much, but that's how the Babylonian Chronicles got started. And I found a great editor, Silja Evelyn out of Scotland, and I had never written a short story. You know, I've written novels, but a short story is very different. You've got to get to the action a lot faster. You can't detail all your characters down to the buttons on their shirts. You can only give a little information about your characters and maybe a little more about the main character, but things have to happen a lot faster. And she was superb at helping me. Like she's like, well, you got to do this, you got to move this here, you got to move that there, it's got to happen now, and she really nailed it down for me. And then I went and wrote the second and then the third short story, all about these events that are happening on the asteroid Psyche.
So Henry, what your voyage into this is unique, like every other author. And what I might take away after we've had so many authors on our show, but what I really enjoyed and appreciated from your story is the motivation behind it, that spark, why, what, where. This is what got things in motion. And we could follow that clear line from where it came from, that inception of concept all the way to then, well, you know what, now I'm gonna use that, I'm gonna start writing, hopefully it'll inspire. And then on top of that, this the description of what happens sometimes inadvertently. You look to submit the best short story that you could do, and that just happened to lead then into them. This was it the library? What was it? You're submitting your first short story to, right? And it led to then
The Louisville Book Festival.
the book fest, right? And so then it went from the short story to, well, yeah, we want your novels, we want the trilogy, we want that. So your dedication to doing the short story and meeting the criteria, they wanted it to be edited by a, like you said, a professional editor. So you know what, you went the extra step, and lo and behold, what did that get you? It got you, they said, oh, they embraced the rest of it. So, we get different stories and different ways of going about a successful, quote, writing career, right? Which, where do you go from here now? Is you're well established, you've written things, you've run this far into what you like doing, obviously, because you wouldn't be doing it. Where does it go from here, Henry?
Well, I tell you, the hardest part about writing a book is selling the book, marketing the book.
Mm.
And if anybody tells you otherwise, at least for me, when I was writing the first trilogy, it just poured out of my mind into the computer. I had no mental blocks whatsoever. selling, that's a whole nother story. There's over 5 million books on Amazon now. And I
Wow.
think I heard over, it was an absurd number I heard the other day. During COVID, like 1 million people came forward and started writing, which is wonderful.
Yes.
I just, that is awesome. I wish I could read all of this new sci-fi, and I have read sci-fi from authors I've never heard of, and I've loved the writing. And it's difficult. So it's the opportunity that shows like yours, the Interfleet Broadcasting, bringing authors on and introducing us to people who would never know of us otherwise. I appreciate this greatly. The next step is to try to market intelligently. You can spend a fortune trying to sell a book, and there are authors out there who have written beautiful works and no one knows about it because it's just daunting trying to approach the market. And my hats are off to publishers, the big publishing houses and the work that they have done. I mean, the great authors that I have read because of them. um, I just, my hat goes off to them. And then now you have the self-publishing market, which it's the indirect competition to them, but then it allows people who don't have a lot of funds, and maybe as as for me, like my first trilogy, I used people that I knew to help edit, the book, and I could not afford to pay $600 to $1,000 for my novel, and then write a full trilogy, 3 novels, and you're talking $3,000 or more, for professional editing, and it may never sell. And so that's why when I approached the book festival, I thought, okay, I'll write a short story because it's only about 20,000 words, and I can afford to do that. And if it doesn't sell, well, that's okay. So moving forward, the goal is to try to get my name out there. I've established a good website. I'm still updating my website continuously. I'm going to book festivals, and that's tricky too, because if you're self-published, there are a lot of book festivals who don't want to talk to you.
Wow. What about conventions, Henry? Do you do any of the sci-fi comic book conventions?
I went to last year, and I was not able to make it this year. Here in Louisville, we have what's called Imaginarium, and I went to the Imaginarium convention last year, and there were a lot of writer conferences there. It was great, a great learning experience for me. Um, I sold one book to the lady sitting behind me. So, who was another author, and so it is a struggle. That's the hardest part of this is you write a great novel, and with the Babylonian Chronicles, it fills my heart every day. There's a guy at my day job, and very few authors are out there writing who don't have day jobs. He came up to me again this past week, just really excited about my book. And I didn't sell it to him. I love this guy. I just gave him a copy. He's been asking me when I was going to get it finished forever. And so I gave him a copy, and he's read it. His brothers read it. Their kids are reading it. The whole family just loves this.
Wow. Oh,
I may have lost you
there we go. You're back.
briefly here. um, so that's the tough part, but the dream is still there. The dream is to keep writing. And the other tidbit about the Babylonian Chronicles is I wanted to bring the reader along for a ride, because I don't know where this is going yet. I
Oops.
Oh,
Uh,
having a little bit of a
connection problem.
some
have a rough.
cell-
Let me.
We're,
I'm
we're
gonna
we're
pull his
losing you a little
down.
bit, Henry. I don't know if there's
All right,
uh,
I'm sending mobile back. So I brought him down.
atmospherics. Might be some
Yeah,
atmospherics involved. Or maybe a little bit of Babylonian backlash, but
Kentucky connection.
it's very cool that he's able to do all these things. You know what? Just real quick, I'd like to recognize Vivian Treadwell and Brenda Sharp Cabrera. Hey, Sean Shallow from Battlestar Bulletin Board is with us. Candy Wolf Olson and Amy Bachman, Cheryl Stinnett, Alessandro Guedes, and somebody else popped on here. Gemma Ratko and Cami, thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone that's been here with us live. We've been talking with a great up and coming established author, science fiction author, Henry Sipes, who is momentarily frozen. His signal
There he
from, I
goes. He's
guess,
back.
the International Space Station was interrupted. Hey,
I got
Henry,
him back. I got him
there was
back.
a little, there's some atmospherics going on. The Aurora Borealis, I think, kind of zoned in on you a little bit, and we kind of, but
Well,
that's okay.
out here we say it's the squirrels jumping on the fiber optic.
Well, okay, that too. That could be it as well. If you had a choice, Henry, if you were to get a phone call tomorrow morning, and you were able to choose who it was from, these are your choices: a comic book publisher that would be publishing a comic book line on one of your novels, a movie studio, a producer that says, I have an intention, I have a budget, and I would like to turn one of your works into a motion picture. Or number three would be one of the cable, one of these, like a Netflix or an Amazon, and they said, well, we want to option you to do a six episode season one of your books. And I'll throw in another one. Or the fourth choice would be a producer calls you and says, we want to turn one of your books into an animated or cartoon style series, limited series. If you could choose one of those, which one would it be? Oh, I think the squirrels are actually attacking Henry's.
Yeah.
So it might be a combination of the atmospherics, as my colonel would say, or the squirrels. But either way, see if we can get him in to get that last. I want him to answer that last question. Everybody that's watching, thank you so much. We're live here at Interfleet Broadcasting. I'm New York Pete. We have a science fiction author named Henry Sipes. His books are all on Amazon. He's got his own website, and usually last two questions are, if you could make it a movie or a graphic novel, which one would it be? And the other one is, are there audiobooks? I can answer that and tell you that, in fact, there are audiobooks. And
They're right there.
so that's part of it. And there you go. Cool stuff. And he's done a lot of, volunteer work
And
in
the
the
audiobooks
field of
are
astronomy.
really good price. I mean,
it's cool stuff.
$4.86 and $2.76 there.
Yeah, so if you guys are
The
watching,
short stories, but they look good. And then Neural One.
yeah, Neuro
That's-
One, yeah.
that's
So
pretty
there's a
good.
lot of cool stuff out there. So if you guys are interested in Henry Sipes' work, please go over to either his site or go over to Amazon. And there's choices. There's Kindle. There's audio. There's the obviously paperback. And I think he's gone, Bez. We didn't get him back. We're still on. I mean, if we can get him back to answer a question, that's usually one of our wrap up questions in terms of what would you like to? Would you turn it into a movie or a TV or a limited series or even a comic book? Some of the authors we've had, you guys know, they've never even thought that far. We hope that Henry continues, and if he is able to break through or shoo away the squirrels. I did want to. I did want to mention that.
CrowdStrike finally got to Kentucky.
Yes. I know that Henry, our guest, was just on a second ago.
Looks like
Is
he's
he back?
got telephone.
Sorry about that.
All right.
I'm
He
in
went
the
out
dark.
with the. Did you go out with the broom and you got the squirrels off of the internet? So Henry, before I lose you, I just want to let you know that I had an uncle who was a professional beekeeper, and that's what he did for his adult life. And
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
I know a little bit about that, and I know that you do that as well. So I figured I'd throw that out. So real quick, what's the answer to the question? Would you turn it into a motion picture or what?
Oh, everybody wants to make a bunch of money, but if someone out there could enjoy reading a comic based off of something that I have written, that would really be awesome. Um, I don't need a lot of money. I would rather someone got enjoyment out of reading science fiction.
Cool. All right. Well, that was fantastic. Thanks for jumping back on. I know there was a little bit of an issue, but we were just talking some things up in terms of where to get your books. Can we get any of them autographed through your site?
If someone would want a autographed book, they could email me at henry-sipes.com, and I would be glad to send them an autographed book.
Excellent, fantastic, Henry. There's more. There's a lot more to talk, to discuss, to explore. We'd like to have you back in the future. So when you're ready to make that next announcement on whatever project you're working on, may it be a comic book or your next trilogy, whatever it is, please come back and share with us, and let's take it then to that next step. We really enjoyed having you on, and thank you for taking the time out, and thank you for doing everything that you've done and continue to do. So you're an inspiration. So
Well,
this one,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
this one's for you and to your work, Henry. Thank you very, very much. So
Thank you, Henry.
from IFB to you, all right, all the best. Cheers.
All right. Thank you very much. I look forward to talking with you again.
All right, cool. All right, that was a happy ending, right? We ended up he was able to come back, which usually does not happen. Came back, wrapped it up, comic book, great, and he does audio, so we didn't have to worry about the audio
I got
stuff.
the audio books in my cart, as a matter of fact. So, I mean,
Cool.
come on, that's pretty cheap for the audiobooks. So,
Jean Melidou Deller, Edsel Colajo is with us, and a couple of others have jumped on. Vic Pisani and Annie Saraha. Thank you for joining us live here on
we
Eager Food
apologize in
Broadcasting.
advance for Pete's inability to decipher
Some
all
of
the names.
Yes, so yes, that's right. Thank you,
It's
Tipsy
New York.
Toaster, for bringing it. It's
It's a New
So
York thing.
yeah, it's a New York thing. But thank you for joining us, everybody. We just had a phenomenal, insightful interview with Henry Sipes. Told us, that gave us sometimes a lot of what is overlooked and it's taken for granted. How you make that jump, or what is it that sparks, that pushes you,
Right.
to write, to create, to do.
And
And he
I
walked
think
us through that,
I think he's
which is cool.
totally correct when he says, there's so many books out there, and it's a great thing that
Yeah.
there are.
Yeah. Dawn, thank you for joining us live. We just finished up with our guest author tonight, was Henry Sipes. Very, very cool stuff. I'm interested in, the Babylonian Chronicles myself. So I'll be, checking those out. And I appreciate him coming on and talking to us. John 1, thank you for setting that up. I don't know, John, is John still with us?
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah.
Cool. All right. And the other thing is that you saw how there was a festival that he went out of his way to actually, meet the criteria. And I really, really admire that, right? Because some people are like, you know what, I'll just send it in, right? I'll submit this work. And I had somebody quote edited, but they're not quite the definition of the professional. But I'm going to do it anyway. And he said, no, I'm going to do it right. Right, I'm going to do this correctly. And I think in the end, the outcome, was definitely more than he expected. He hired an editor. He told us an editor from Scotland who helped him out, and I think fine tuned it, the short piece that he wrote. And then out of that, the festival said, well, we want your trilogy, which was unexpected. So it was a positive outcome. And I like the idea that going the extra way and doing the right thing ended up benefiting him. And that's what I believe. That's how I believe it should be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely.
He put the work in for it, so he deserves it.
Yeah, he did. He put in the work for it, and it paid out.
Yeah, good.
So guys, John, I'm not sure if you heard me last time when we came up with our IFB statement that it's mostly the Tipsy's toaster that we then kind of crafted together, but it comes from our experiences so far. We're 4 seasons in, and we're getting close to wrapping up 4 seasons of being on live streaming on our show here, IFB, and going into that 5th. And what we've come up with is the following, and we really believe that this is part of what IFB stands for. So with your help and support, we want to take one of our favorite shows and franchises, Battlestar Galactica, beyond the fandom stage and into a living and energized movement. We're particularly talking a lot, centering a little bit of this around, of course, the classic Battlestar Galactica and in general the franchise. So we don't know where it's going. Hopefully we'll have an update on August 8th, and hopefully it'll be a positive update. We want to help reignite and inspire others to create new and exciting works that we can all appreciate and bring other sci-fi fans into our world and beyond. More than fans, we are creators that drive the narrative. At least that's how we see ourselves. That's our way of giving back. And it's not only, right? I mean, big picture, it's not only strictly Battlestar Galactica, but it's the genre sci-fi.
Yeah.
From what I understand, guys, sci-fi is going into a it's starting to be put aside. It's a cyclical thing. The industry sometimes will focus on comedies, romantic comedies. They'll go into big sci-fi stuff. Maybe they'll pick a genre that they'll push, that they see that bring it up to the forefront. Doesn't mean it's going to disappear, but it's going to kind of they're gonna
Hollywood's not going to want to make more videos or movies from sci-fi because they feel that at that point it's worn out. But I don't know. It's kind of a hard thing because
the superhero genres are genre is dead. Everybody wants to back away from it.
But then
you got Aliens coming out next month too.
But,
so
we got Star Wars and everything else. So
which are the exceptions to the rule. From what we're hearing, it's the horror genre is really picking up, and it's going to be. It's going to be big for a while. Doesn't mean that sci-fi goes away. It just means that it's going to be diminished.
The pendulum swings.
We want to, the pendulum swings, exactly. But we want to make sure that even though, like you said, the pendulum is swinging the other way, it doesn't mean that it goes away, and that, we want to support and be creative. I know that while Henry Sipes was on, award-winning writer, director, actor, filmmaker George Zuvalos was on, who happens to be the protagonist and the star of The Stranded Warrior, had jumped on. So thank you, George Zuvalos, for coming on. We appreciate your help.
And he's done superhero movies too. So
yes, he has. As a matter of fact, he did his own fan film called TNG, and it was a vision. I believe it was inspired by a short-lived series in the Marvel universe that didn't go anywhere, and they kind of tapped into that storyline. It was like an Avengers storyline, and they brought that to life, and they won a bunch of awards with that. And as a matter of fact, George Kyriakopoulos, George K, was also involved. He was a producer and acted in that the TNG as well with George Zuvalos. So and they both were in The Stranded Warrior. So we're very, very happy and blessed to having them a part of the team. Melinda Nelson, thank you for joining us live.
Wow.
We just had an author, science fiction author, Henry Sipes was just on with us, and John One. What was your takeaway?
I thought it was very good. I'm reading the Battle Chronicles now, and it's really good. So I like how his drive and his vision is there. He's COVID, everything happened, and he's still stuck with it. And yeah, I'm kind of with him too. I want to get to space too. So
I got another book about the
good book.
Yeah, the other book that he talked about with the different fuel is kind of interesting.
Yeah, the fuel book. So I have a comment that I need Tipsy Toaster to address, and that is the Chris Marshall wanted to emphasize that there is a pronunciation issue with how certain things are, and our resident linguist is of course the Tipsy Toaster, because he can turn on and off the ability to use electronics in his brain. And so I wanted Tipsy Toaster to address that.
That's it's pronounced Louisville.
Is that correct?
Louisville.
Well, it's Louisville,
Louisville.
Louisville.
It's Louisville. Louisville.
Okay.
Louisville.
Well,
Louisville.
Right. Well, see, but the thing is, John, one, that the 8 million of us that live in New York City, we say it, the American way, and the rest of the world says it
and just
any other way.
Okay, so you're gonna go there. We can say Houston and Houston are two different things as well, sir. I went to Houston Street while I was in New York.
No, you did not.
But the people did not know what that was. That's
right. You went to Houston.
Houston Street.
Houston Street.
So we'll try that again. It is.
Where did you go?
Houston.
No, that doesn't exist.
Houston.
Oh, I wish I could have filmed it, because we would have had a comedy tonight, and we would have bust the gut, because if you went around asking people where Houston Street is, nobody would have known, and it would have been so.
I could have brought out the microphones and said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm from out of town. I'm looking for Houston Street. Can you help me out?"
Eventually, there would have been fans involved. It would have been so funny. Oh my god, I missed that. But anyway,
it's in Soho.
I'd be standing on the street corner and go, "Hey, is this sir? Is you? How do you pronounce this word here, sir?" Okay, and this is a city in Texas. It's a picture. How do you pronounce that word?
You're not in Texas today, buddy. You're on
you probably got some very colorful words if you ask people that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well,
Houston. I like it. Houston. We have a problem.
Yeah, we do. Yes, that's right. Then you're calling New York. It's a New York thing. Mirna, thank you for joining us. Mark Gunn, thank you for joining us live. We're here on IFB Interfleet Broadcasting. It's a Sunday. This live broadcast is Sunday. We usually broadcast on Thursday. We shifted it over. We did a weekend of conventions. If you go on our Facebook page, you'll see all the work that we did. John One was with us, made a big difference in just the outlook. And it's good when you show up to an event, and you bring a little bit of your force, you bring a little bit of your the team with you, and John is part of that, and appreciate it, John. Thank you for taking the time out and coming out. And we were there from the morning all the way till the closing, which was 5:00. So we got there at 10. John, I think you were there like 10:15, and we were all the way till like 5:00, and it was great. So that was this weekend, and Peg, thank you for joining us live. Thank you, all of you, for joining us on IFB Interfleet Broadcasting. We were expecting
live from Houston.
Yes, Houston Street in Soho. But we are supposed to have our Star Trek update if we can get our
I just sent
admiral.
him the a link again. So
And so
hang
he's
on, I'll do
that's-
what we normally do in the background when you don't see us. Where I'm like, stretch it.
Yeah, I don't think he's home yet. He says he's not home yet. So there we go.
Well, I'll tell you what. I went to the convention today, the Collecticon, which was really a Pokemon, a Yu-Gi-Oh card game, and I met a business owner that actually sells these acrylic cases, and I picked one up, and it fits.
Does that
my
thing
command-
hold the card at the back of it?
Yeah, it holds the card.
Holy
it's
crap! Usually they're just kind
wow.
of like they're just like cases that just kind of would let it. Ooh, wow!
No,
Holds it up.
That's
yeah,
cool.
It has. Yeah, so up in the back here, you can see that. Well, maybe you can't. It's kind of hard. But in the back here, there's an actual. It slides
There's a
in.
lip.
It slides in, and it slides in here as well on the sides, so that it stays in place.
Wow!
And so
Are you
it
hanging
seals
on
it
the
up.
wall? Is there a lip?
Yeah. If you added one of those,
Okay.
the things, there's, you can always probably stick that on. You could absolutely.
Yeah. All right. I thought there was a
But
shelf there.
since I happen to own
Nice.
a carded original Battlestar Galactica Commander Adama, I figured, what the heck,
Oh.
and hopefully, we may end up getting some sponsorship. I spoke to the owner of the company, and he was interested. So we'll see, guys. We'll keep you posted. And they sell, for all, this is generic, right? So it fits all these type of carded, like it fits the Star Wars figures. And so, you put it in, you seal it up, and now you can display it, and you don't have to worry about it being damaged or anything. So I thought that was kind of cool. So they
really cool.
also do stuff for cards, so sports cards and non-sports cards. They do the sleeves, they do the books, they do the binders for them, and they do all different sizes of those acrylic boxes. So it's a possibility that if we connect with them, it would be nice. We would get they would become a sponsor of Interfleet Broadcasting, and then sales through us and our links, we would get a little
Maybe get
a
a
little
10%
bonus.
discount for them or people
Yeah.
or whatever else.
So
yeah.
that's how
great.
that works. Today that was
That's kinda cool,
so I
though.
did get something out.
I've never seen
Yeah.
one that actually had the lip in the back. I've always just seen the regular plastic
Correct. Yeah.
case thing. So
Yeah. So this is
Does he
kind
do
of
that
cool.
for comics too? Or comics and cards?
Ooh.
Yeah, so you can. Oh yeah, he does. So the beauty of the other, the case, like he had all different size cases. Like he had ones that are specifically made for when you have your comic books graded, and then they put them in that plastic. They seal them up. Well, then you can get them and put them into an acrylic case that's made specifically for that. So I thought it was it was really cool.
nice.
It was a nice little at the end. I ran into them, and this was actually on display, and he sold it to me for dirt cheap. And I talked to him, and so I'll follow that up. Jamie, thank you for joining us. We are Interfleet Broadcasting. I'm New York Pete, Tipsy Toaster, John One. We had our author guest was Henry Sipes. Very, very cool, who's a Kentucky colonel, right? A commissioned colonel for his volunteerism, which is really cool. I've read about it. We all know Colonel Sanders, and I've never met one, so we kind of met one tonight. He's really cool. And we had our briefing on our genre sci-fi news briefing. John One, you did that earlier, so if you guys watched that, if you came in late, we talked a little bit about that stuff. And just want to thank everyone that actually watches us later on, right? So we have X number of people that are watching us live. And then later on, John, you've seen the numbers. Sometimes they're staggering. They're like, 16, 17, 20, 30,000 people watch the show afterwards around the world, which is humbling. Thank you very, very much for that.
Science fiction's a hell of a drug.
It sure is. And obviously so is Interfleet Broadcasting. We had a lot of fun at the Sci-Fi Con with Chris Fian. Thank you very much, sir, for hosting us. We had a really, really good time, and it was for charity, right? The Cerebral Palsy
Yes.
Association. So everybody volunteered, celebrities, everybody that was there on Saturday, all of us included, all volunteered our time. Nobody got paid for it. So we were glad to come out. Chris Fian has invited us many times to do some of these events, and we were happy that it all worked out. Jocelyn, thank you for joining us live. It's Interfleet Broadcasting. We're talking sci-fi and things we did this weekend. We just had a great author, Henry Sipes. John, you were able to get him to come on the show. And there's some conventions coming up, John. There's some stuff that's going on coming up this summer.
Yes. San Diego Con, WhoCon in August. What's the other one? Brooklyn Con? Comic Con coming up?
Well, New York Comic Con is later.
Comic Con's in September.
Yeah. October.
But New York Apple Con is summer, is it?
Oh, yes, the Big Apple Con. Yes, I think they're
Big
only
Apple
going to do it day again. I don't know why. I wish they were able to do weekend. Just because they get more celebrities and more stuff. That's a good one because it's still comic book centered. There's also L.A. Comic Con, which
San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah, no, L.A. The LA Comic Con, which is separate. Yeah, it's in Los Angeles. I will be attending. I'm going to meet up with Bert Oliver Bulmer, sci-fi award-winning sci-fi author who's been a guest on our show. So he's going to be there. I'll be meeting up with him on Sunday, the last day of the Los Angeles Comic Con. So if anybody's going to be this year at LA Comic Con, let us know. We'll meet up. I'll be there for other mini vacation. So I'll be out there. I decided to since I was there, I would take the time to go out and see what the LA Comic Con is. I've been to WonderCon out in LA. I've never been to that, so I'll be there. Saturday, I'll be going to Saturday's New York Comic Con this year. So if any of you are around and are going to New York Comic Con, let us know. I know that Tipsy, you'll be going to Dragon Con.
Yep, got Dragon Con set up, and the press passes have been approved. So
fantastic!
We are headed there, and
Gerard and Ivani Oakley are watching. Thank you.
Dragon Con.
We are wrapping up.
First rule of Dragon Con: always talk about Dragon Con.
Oh yeah. And we're waiting to see. As a matter of fact, there's a possibility that Dark Legacies, with Claudia Christian and Bruce Boxleitner and Peter Jurassic, Walter Koenig, and of course Bill Mumy are all involved in Dark Legacies, and that's from Dr. Chris McCauley. Will be going to shows soon. I believe that they've been invited to go to Dragon Con, and so that's going to be great. They might be making it out to the East Coast, and if they are, we'll let you know. Specifically New York, the New York area. Chiller, guys. Chiller Fan Expo. Yeah. So I'll be going to that. I'll be picking up tickets. I'll be attending on Saturday at the Chiller. So
When's
again,
that?
if any of you are going, I know that.
Do you have the David Chiller Con? When's that? September, October?
I'll have to let me click that up. Oh, it's October. It's late October. It's in the late 20s. So I'll be going Saturday of that weekend, going out with some of the guys. Our director, our art director from the Tower Protocol Resurrection, Jefferson Ridnour, and his husband will be with us, with me, and we're heading out to. So Ryan also worked on. He's going to be doing some of the assistings in the audio department of the Tower Protocol.
October 25th to 27th.
Yeah. So I'll be going out on the Saturday, and we're going to check that out. I'm so lucky that we get to go out with professionals that are in the industry that have worked with us. So I don't know, John, if you're going to go, let me know.
I think
there it is.
Yeah, we had a good time with Professor Patton last year too, so I might go. I might go with my nephew this year.
Professor Patton
really cool.
came out.
A lot of cool guests.
Yes. He treated us. It was great to see him again in person. Great guy. They have such a great lineup, guys. They have people that right? When you
Whoa.
these are the actors that we know so well, right? You know,
Yeah.
70s and 80s, and then but you know, look at that. These are, I mean, look, it speaks for itself. I remember watching Room 2222 when I was a kid, but oh, the Super Friends, the voice of Super Friends. Oh man,
Oh, Godzilla.
Terror of Mecha Godzilla.
Wow.
Wow. Ooh, that's cool. Oh man,
I'm gonna take my
there's some
son to that too.
wow.
He's a big Godzilla
There's some
fan.
yeah, that's really really cool. Look at it. Oh, Vay Neal. Face Off was such a great show. I really enjoyed watching that when that was on. And of
Galaxy
course, I mean,
Quest.
look at all that stuff. This is cool stuff. These are the guests that are scheduled to be at the Chiller Expo, and yeah, they get a
Wow.
great variety
The
of
metal
you know
show.
actors that you know we I think associate with because they're they're kind of more or less from our time, so to speak, our golden age when the 70s and 80s when we were kids, and we remember all this
Yeah.
growing up with these shows and stuff. So yeah, this is Chiller. I went to it for the first time last year. I was a guest with John One of Professor Dr. Padden, and he was a great host, and we hung out with him. We got to know him, face to face at Dragon Con. Don't know if he's going to be free or around. I'm going to reach out to him. In the meantime, guys, hope to hear from you. William Moreno Colton is watching live. He's jumped on. Thank you, everybody, for watching here. Maldarin, Birmingham, is watching as well. This is welcome to Interfleet Broadcasting IFB. This is not our usual day. We're usually on Thursdays. We move this show over. Remarkably, this is our 40. Let's see. I believe it's like the 44th episode, if I'm not mistaken. So season 4. We've come a long way, guys,
Coming up,
and it's
5-year anniversary coming up.
yeah, it's
And then we've
you know,
secured some special guests for our 5-year anniversary.
yes, and we're talking over 200 episodes, well over 200, over 200 episodes, and over 250 or more interviews that we have done, covering conventions throughout the United States. So, Julia Dowell, thank you for joining us live. We're wrapping up our show. We're actually hoping that there might be no possibility. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put off our Star Trek update. So, Bran, we're going to see you at an upcoming show. We'll reschedule your Star Trek update. So that's good. That's okay. Not a problem.
Semper Gumby.
Yep, that's right. Mary May Andiano, thank you. Juliet, thank you for joining us. We're wrapping up Interfleet Broadcasting. We had a great author tonight, our guest, Henry Sipes. John One, you gave us a report on some of the up and coming, genre stuff, comic book, shows, movies, things that are happening. We had a great weekend. Any takeaways, John?
I had a great time at the Comic-Con yesterday. I was talking to Justin Weiss, Chris Fian's XO, Rattlehead. He told us how he got his name, Rattlehead. So it's a very good interview with him, and I got a nice little Fright Night poster signed by Charlie. Was it Marston?
Yep.
Masters. So we got that in the auction, and I gave a little back, and we all gave back something. So we had a good time. So I had a great time, and
really.
It was. I think it was
looking forward
important that. That was a nice get together. It
we were
wasn't
there.
huge, but I didn't think it needed to be huge. That was over. I have to get back with Fee and see how many thousands of dollars that they raised for cerebral palsy.
What he said was, as we were wrapping up, that his rough estimate was just a little over $6,000.
It's amazing for 4
all
hours
for charity.
Amazing.
In 4
And
hours.
we were there.
That's amazing.
That was the great thing. It's all for charity. Nobody was paid that full day. No one even the celebrities, no one was
Celebrities who
paid. There was a
came in, they were
magician,
free.
a illusionist there as well, right, guys? And an author. And Nobody got paid. It was great. We had a good time. We were happy that we were able to support. So Chris Fian has invited us multiple times to participate, and for whatever scheduling reasons we haven't been able to. This year, 2024 July, we were able to go out and support MiniCon, and I'm proud that we did it, guys.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Tipsy,
And we did it together, so that was cool. So we were all together.
yeah,
It was fun.
absolutely. Right, Tipsy had finished a week of training in After Effects at a masterclass in Manhattan, and instead of getting in the car and driving home, decided to drive out to the convention instead and stay and then drive home. So
That was great.
looking
It didn't take
forward
long at all.
to the next show, guys. Thank you very much for doing everything.
Yep.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. There's more updates coming up. Thursday we have our Thursday show, right?
Thursday, and
John?
you have one Tuesday night, I think. I think you have an exclusive Tuesday with Dawson's
Yes.
Books. And you have
That'll be-
Thursday show.
Tuesday is. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We do have an exclusive, right? Who's coming on?
Dawson's Books.
Okay.
He's a military sci-fi writer.
Okay, so
Cool guy.
so Tuesday of this week, guys, we're gonna have an IFB exclusive. It's our 30-minute branch out that I do. So stay tuned for that. And then Thursday, do we have a guest on Thursday, John?
Yes, we do. I forgot his name.
Is it an author?
Yes, it is an author.
Cool.
Okay, cool. All right. So hey guys, listen, Tipsy, what do you got?
Not much. Keep stacked up, and then you and I will get together maybe Monday evening.
Monday.
Tuesday will be Joseph Dawson Jr. books. He's an author.
Fantastic.
Sci-fi, military sci-fi author.
More
Great.
More,
So
more
just
editing this
tomorrow-
week for all sorts of stuff. So, but once again, we really thank everybody for coming out. It is you that fuel the our video cast here, and it's you that fuel the fleet in regards to fandoms. Keep writing stories, keep imagining the things at night, keep dreaming, and keep us in your thoughts. And we will be back on Tuesday and Thursday. So here's to you, because the fans fuel the fleet. So thank
Fans
you
fuel the fleet.
so much, and you take
Thanks,
care.
guys.
Here's to you.
Take care.
And never give up. Okay, guys.
Never surrender.
Oh, it's good beer.